Okay, sorry if I'm all over the place. As usual, this will be unscripted, and I'm just going to just jump into this stuff. So, a couple of things happened today. The first thing I want to cover is a article from Sausage Roll in which they promoted some of our efforts to boost the Alita movie, and right now their site is down. So I'll just have to show you some of the things that I shared on Instagram. And for the record, I'm not the only person who manages this account here. Dennis also manages this account, but let's just go on here. These are some of the things that had happened over the weekend that Sausage Roll had taken note of. This was a post from Charles Smith, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. I'm not sure if it's Schmidt or maybe it's Schmidt. Um, but again, sorry if I mispronounce your name. What Sausage Roll says, perhaps there is a correlation between the Alita Army's efforts to promote the film during the busy shopping season and Alita's skyrocketing popularity. And I'm sorry that I can't show you the whole article. Like I said, the site is down, so we just have to make do with this. As you see here, Alita is at number 6. I'm sure Doc Ito will have some updates with where exactly what this means and where Alita is compared to where Ready Player One was at that time or at the same time. But I would say about that, it's just my opinion. I think we can't really compare Ready Player One too much because that was a Steven Spielberg movie and it was based off of a property that a lot of people knew. Since I guess Ready Player One was a popular book, I don't know. I didn't read it myself, but I guess it was. And Alita is a manga. Number one, it's foreign and it's completely new. Really, to most people, it's completely new. So it's going to be hard to compare those two movies. And below that picture, Sausage Roll says, or the writer Diane, or is it? Let me go back to get her name really quick. Yeah, Diane Anders. She says, interestingly, Alita Battle Angel became the fifth highest trending movie at the same time Alita Army started trending on Twitter. So maybe it's possible that we are making an impact on Alita, and I really hope so because we've been putting a lot of effort into it. Going on 9 months now, probably. No, not going on 9 months. Going on, it'll be 10 months in December. So it'll be 10 months. We've been at it for a long time. And another thing that we tried to do over the weekend is, well, we kind of, this is my fault. I'll take the blame for this one. But um, I had the idea to get the hashtag Alita Battle Angel trending, and maybe I didn't send out enough warning in advance, or maybe I didn't continue to retweet it and to tag people enough in order to get people to to be aware of it in order for us to start in time. So it was mostly Alita movie account, not the official Alita movie account, but another account, a fan account called Alita movie, was trying to help coordinate it to get people to be ready to tweet this out. And a lot of people didn't get the messages, so we didn't quite, as Hunter Warrior here says, we when we did actually attempt to do it, we had the right shape, but unfortunately, we didn't have enough numbers and enough people ready to go. So maybe we'll try again this weekend, but we'll plan ahead and hopefully we'll have enough numbers to get a little Battle Angel trending, and maybe that will get people interested in the movie, and maybe they'll buy some Blu-rays. I wish it could have happened for the Black Friday weekend and Cyber Monday weekend, but unfortunately, we just didn't get it. So that was a missed opportunity, but it's still the holiday season. So the next image here is one, it's an older one, but the Sausage Roll decided to include this one as well. And this was one of our first attempts at leaving Blu-rays for people to find. And I can scroll down, but you won't see the whole image there. But you've seen this before. This was Alita Thornton, who is Adam Thornton on Twitter, and I mean Adam Thornton on YouTube. The Alita Army has spent thousands in promotions and have already given away hundreds, if not more, copies of the movie. So the next thing that I want to cover is Sean O'Connell, a who is the managing director for Cinema Blend and co-host of Real Blend, and I guess he's also on NBC. He tweeted out today that first I get to this one. He is interviewing producer Jon Landau and the VFX team for Alita Battle Angel this afternoon, and he asked us for our questions. And we started sending him our questions on Twitter. I tried to go round up some questions from, oh, yeah, here. I tried to round up some questions from Instagram and also from Reddit and Facebook. And we will find out tomorrow, according to him, we'll find out tomorrow what some of those answers are from Jon Landau. He wrote them separate in a separate article. Before I get to the article that he published today, he asked Jon Landau a question about the Elite Army, and he asked Landau if he was aware of the Elite Army's efforts. And I'll show you here on Twitter. And Landau says, "I am very aware of it and very appreciative of it. It's what you want to do when you make a movie. You want to reach people and you want them to become your advocates, and that's what they've done." Now, I hope when he says that he is very aware of, the Leader Army, we know that he tweeted out, not tweeted out, but he posted on Facebook that he loved the Elite Army when he saw the article from Kylie Harrington, who had wrote for The Wrap and Yahoo News. He posted on Facebook in response to this that he loved the Elite Army as they had become known. Now, um, I wonder just how much he is able to see. I really do. I appreciate the fact that he said that he noticed this, but I'm like, do you really know how much we try, how hard we try? Because I really want us to be able to make an impact on this movie, and it'd be devastating if we don't get it. So that leads me to the final thing that I want to share, and that is the article that was published today after Sean O'Connell had his interview with Jon Landau. Now, I'll just read some of it. I won't read all of it, but I'll just tell you right now that it may not sound like good news coming from Landau, but I think it's, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I don't know everything. He's probably under a non-disclosure agreement. He can't talk too much, and he is trying to be as, I think he's diverting questions. He's just being as safe as possible. That's kind of what I think is going on. Still, it wasn't really what I wanted to hear, but you know, now here is what was asked of him. Let's see, Jon Landau produced Alita Battle Angel with James Cameron, and Landau just talked to Cinema Blend's own Sean O'Connell about the potential for a sequel. Now, this was actually written by Gina Carbone, Gina Carbone, but she is talking about the interview that Sean O'Connell had. And this is what Jon Landau says to us. What I think the Elite Army should do is keep peppering our family now at Disney and let them know how important it is to have another Alita movie, and hopefully we'll venture there one day. Now, when you first read that, that is like an absolute kick to the gut because we. Here's the thing about Disney: they haven't shown any interest in Alita at all. And when you look at uh, some of the, well, if you're, it depends. If you go to some of these stores, like I have been seeing people say on Twitter, they haven't been seeing a lot of Alita Battle Angel on the shelf, and in some places, um, there's none at all. Now that could mean that the stores are stocking and they're just selling too fast, or they're not stocking enough. And when they sell out, they don't put them back on the shelf, and that would be a problem. That would mean that they are not meeting the demand for Alita. There are a lot of people who may be going looking for Alita, and she's not there. And what that would tell me is that they're not trying to sell the movie. I would put that on Fox, who is now Disney, if they're not trying to sell the movie. And I hope that is not the case. But that's just kind of the impression that I get when I look at the way they treated Dark Phoenix. They couldn't give a crap about how Dark Phoenix did at the theater. They pulled Dark Phoenix out early in order to get um, Infinity War back in the theaters again to beat Avatar's record. So if we are reliant on them for Alita's future, then I don't have a lot of hope. I'll just be completely honest with you about that. But that's not the case. At least I don't believe it's the case. Jon Landau, not Jon Landau, but Jim Cameron, he is the rights owner, and Disney is simply a distributor. And right now, Jon Landau and Cameron are working with Disney on Avatar. So I understand that Landau isn't going to um, completely just he's not going to diss him, right? He's not going to say throw some shade at him right now when he's working with them. But Cameron is the rights holder, not Disney. So as far as I know, and even Scott Mendelson has said it before, Cameron can still take Alita to a different distributor. We'll just have to wait and see though. So I'll just go to. I think I don't really want to get into some of the things that he said about the time frame because he also, if you listen to him in some interviews, he also contradicts some of those things that he said. Because here's what he says with, I'll just read this really quick. Here's what he says in this interview. I think when you talk about when you can talk about any movie, I won't talk about specifically about Alita. See, for some reason, he just won't talk specifically about Alita, but your first step is writing a script. You got to assume that it's going to take you 12 to 18 months to write a script. Assuming that script is great, then you then have 6 to 10 months of pre-production. Oh, here's where I see the contradiction. He says in the interview, when he was asked, would we wait for a long time for the Alita sequel? And Landau said, with Rodriguez, it won't take as long.
And with the hundreds, I think you said there's 1,000 pages of notes, and Robert saw like 600 of them or something. Did those notes include like a blueprint of what could be future Alita stories?
I think we tried not to focus so much on what the future stories would be. There are some big, bold concepts that would come out of the manga of where the stories might go, because we didn't want to do anything that would conflict with where they might go. But we also did not want to have the hubris to go spend a lot of time on it before we made something that audiences told us they wanted a sequel on.
And if that can happen, and there's a long time gap between Avatar 1 and 2, are we going to have to wait that long for another Alita?
Look, if audiences want another Alita, I'm sure with Robert, we could... Robert does things much faster than Jim generally does.
And we know that they already have plans. They didn't write a script yet, but they already kind of have an idea of where they're going to go. So it's not going to take... They're not building something from the ground up, right? So it's not going to take as long. And I'm reminded of another point too. Before I go on and finish this off, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but what Cameron and Landau both said was that if Alita is successful, or that if the fans had told them that they wanted more Alita, then they would get more Alita. Now, of course, telling them that we want more Alita includes Blu-ray sales, right? It can't happen without the money. I think we're getting there though. Once again, I can't speak because we haven't seen the full financials for Alita so far, but I think I think Alita is in the green. She's in profit, and to me, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to go ahead with a sequel. And if Cameron is if he has made money, he's not, in my opinion, he is not going to not make the sequel. He's going to do it. So I think that is pretty much it for this. That's all I want to show. Um, we got about 9 days, maybe less. No, actually, maybe 8 days left in promotion. Hopefully, the tweets that we did promote, looked like we had some good promotion going on here, but we were shadow banned during a lot of this stuff. But anyway, hopefully some of the tweets that were promoted will actually reach people and get them watching Alita. Um, here's a few more that were. Here's another one that was sent out today. Hopefully, people see these sort of tweets, and who knows, to get curious. And the best thing, even if some of this doesn't really have an effect, at least we can say that we tried, right? We tried. We did everything we could. So, that's better than not trying at all. So, I think we're doing good though. So stay positive. Don't take this as bad news or anything. Get depressed. Just the mission is the same as always. Stay positive. Um, tell people to buy the Blu-rays. Sign and share the sequel petition. And business as usual. So anyway, thank you all for listening, and I'll talk to you later.